Julie, with her sharp intellect and indomitable ambition, had always been someone who sought attention and validation. Radiating charm, her beauty and achievements often cast her in the limelight. Beside her stood Ivana, her steadfast companion since their high school days. Ivana's temperament was quite the opposite. She was reserved, often blending into the background, and had an innate academic prowess. Julie, while socially adept, mainly shone in extracurricular activities. Yet their differences never deterred their bond. Upon graduating, Ivana secured a position at a renowned firm. Recognizing Julie's keen interest in joining the same company, Ivana, being the supportive friend she always was, ensured Julie received a spot beside her. However, as the months rolled on, the office dynamics unveiled a surprising scenario. Ivana, with her affable demeanor and genuine willingness to assist, was steadily gaining popularity. Julie, accustomed to being the center of attention, struggled to cope with this new reality. One evening, as the aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafted through the pantry, Julie's voice broke the silence. How did Ivana, of all people, become the darling of this place? The bitterness in her tone was unmistakable. The tipping point came when Ivana was recognized for her unwavering dedication and remarkable contribution to a critical project. The office buzzed with excitement as Ivana's colleagues showered her with accolades. "Ivana, you truly deserve this. Our division owes last month's success to you," exclaimed one of her team members. The announcement of a celebration in her honor was the final straw for Julie, intensifying her growing resentment. Everyone in the room was praising Ivana a lot. They even wanted to have a party for her. This made Julie very unhappy because she felt Ivana was getting all the attention. After the party that night, Julie said she'd take Ivana home. Everyone trusted Julie because they were old friends. But once they were in Ivana's apartment, Julie invited a friend over. Julie then asked her friend to undress and lie next to Ivana, who was asleep. She took some pictures that looked wrong. After that, she told her friend to leave. Julie then sent these pictures to all their coworkers' emails, saying things about Ivana that weren't true. Julie wanted everyone to think badly of Ivana. That morning, as she entered the office, Ivana was met with stares of shock and disgust from her coworkers. She approached a female colleague beside her desk, who exclaimed loudly, "If you're merely masking your true nature with fake goodness, then keep your distance. I honestly can't stand such pretense." Stunned by her usually amiable colleague's words, Ivana attempted to push the issue aside to concentrate on her tasks. However, her boss soon summoned her. Upon entering his office, the man seated behind the desk swiftly inquired about a photo of Ivana circulating the division. "Which photo is Mr. Daniel referring to?" Ivana questioned with evident confusion. "You're truly unaware." Mr. Daniel responded with a grave look. Ivana firmly shook her head. Without delay, Mr. Daniel pivoted his laptop to reveal a compromising image of Ivana beside an unfamiliar man. "Who on earth is that? Where did this image come from?" Ivana exclaimed, utterly aghast. Witnessing Ivana's distressed demeanor and reaction, Daniel deduced that someone with ill intent was targeting her. "You really don't recognize this photo, Ivana?" Mr. Daniel asked once more. "I promise, sir, I have no idea when this photo was taken or who captured such a demeaning image. Someone must be setting me up." Ivana responded, her eyes filling with tears. Mr. Daniel exhaled deeply and said, "I see. It seems someone harbors ill will towards you. You need to stay vigilant, Ivana. The very person you deem trustworthy might just be betraying you out of jealousy." Ivana remained quiet, absorbing her boss's warning, pondering who could be behind such a vile act. As she headed back to her workspace, she overheard Julie conversing with some colleagues. "I never imagined Ivana would stoop so low," commented Mrs. Stila, a more tenured employee. "Why the shock? Ivana has always been two-faced. During our academy days, she'd frequently invite several men to her room late at night. She was just adept at playing the innocent card, Julie remarked with a hint of disdain. Many coworkers seemed to be gravitating towards Julie, who seized the chance to malign Ivana. Julie spoke as if she were privy to all of Ivana's secrets. Irritated by Julie's claims, Ivana stormed into the room, slammed her coffee cup down in front of Julie, which startled everyone, and then promptly exited the scene. "So this is how you've been talking about me behind my back, Julie. You should be ashamed of yourself. Haven't you forgotten who got you into this company? Who helped you with your homework back in school? And who do you borrow money from to treat your girlfriends? It was always me. I regret ever helping you, especially now that I see your desperate need for popularity." Ivana confronted Julie, tears streaming down her face. "Here she goes, putting on a show again," Julie retorted, dismissive of Ivana's anguish. The office colleagues could only exchange whispered comments among themselves. "I'm not putting on a show. I'm speaking the truth. I've even stepped back from guys I liked, just so you could be with them. Despite all I've done for you over the years, you remain ungrateful. I can't work with someone like you." Ivana, visibly upset, returned to her desk to gather her belongings. She was resolute in her decision to resign. After Ivana's departure, there was an initial sense of unease in the division. However, over time, they began to see Julie's true nature. She consistently shifted blame onto others and tried to curry favor with their boss, Mr. Daniel. But Mr. Daniel wasn't easily fooled. He was aware that Ivana's resignation stemmed from Julie's actions. The situation came to a head when Julie had a disagreement with a colleague, Mrs. Stila. Both went to Mr. Daniel to clarify a dispute over a report. Mrs. Stila insisted that the recently submitted report was her work, but Julie claimed it as her own. Upon review, Mr. Daniel compared the disputed report with previous ones done by Mrs. Stila. After comparing this with Mrs. Stila's previous files, it's clear that this is her work. "So Julie, why are you claiming it as yours?" Caught under Mr. Daniel's intense gaze, Julie nervously responded, "I did create the report, but I accidentally spilled coffee on it, ruining it. I didn't want to appear irresponsible in front of you, so I asked Mrs. Stila to recreate the file to avoid your disappointment." Mr. Daniel shook his head, expressing his disappointment. "I'm surprised you haven't changed, Julie. Don't you realize your actions hurt others? I'm also aware that you're the reason behind Ivana's resignation. She helped you get into this company. Given your recent behavior, I doubt any reputable firm in this city would hire you. Effective immediately, you are dismissed." "What? You can't do this to me. I'm indispensable. I can handle anything," Julie exclaimed, her voice laced with desperation. Concerned that Julie might create a disturbance, Mr. Daniel promptly called for security to escort her out. From that day on, Julie became a wandering figure, constantly claiming her perfection. Her fixation with perfectionism led her astray. If only she had been more genuine and hardworking, she wouldn't have needed to feign perfection to earn respect and admiration.